The Therapy Man. I got the therapy man's number from a friend who eventually went mad. It was somewhere deep in Chicago's downtown when I first told the therapy man that when I talked, I didn't know who was talking. "You mean you feel like a puppet?" he asked. "I guess," I replied. "You've got to move out," he said. "Out of where?" "Out of your house." "Why?" "So when you talk, you'll know who's talking," he said. I listened to the therapy man and moved out on Mom and Dad. It was my first place of my own, shared with my Satyricon cousin before the suburbs or Broadway existed. Finally, I evolved into hanging out with poets and going to places like Iowa and Ohio. I drank half pints and took niacin. I met No Love at All and watched the Broadway era begin. After a time, No Love at All and I realized we had to get away from Broadway, needing something like the suburbs to meld us together. So we took Mary Again's offer to run her boarding house. My job was to clean bathrooms and dump garbage, cut boxes open and trim hedges. No Love at All sorted letters. Sometimes No Love at All and I would sleep with the windows open. Once we were robbed. The thief stole our bedsheets and I started sleeping with a machete. Once we had a Christmas tree in front of our bedroom door, but it kept falling down. We figured it was a spirit, and I started sleeping with the Bible. One evening we saw the spirit together and hid in the backyard where the lilacs used to bloom. The next day, I called Mary again in California. "Did you know there was a spirit living in your house?" "Oh, you saw it?" "Yeah, some old guy hovering by the fireplace." "Oh, he's harmless. He keeps knocking down our Christmas tree." "Just move it." "What does he want?" "I don't know. You're not helping me." "You're living there rent-free, right?" The Agains did let us live rent-free, on a planet more innocent than the one we have today. "Okay," I said. "We'll handle it. Bye." You wanted to bottle the good days and store them in the cellar to call on for instant gratification. One day I called on a vintage day and a great blizzard came. All the suburban people stayed inside, but St. Stan came over and we did novenas and got high with the lake people. It was just a few days later, on a suburban Saturday, thick with spring fog, when I went to the corner store for the paper. There on the front page was the story. Noted psychologist slain. I kept reading. I couldn't believe it. It was him, the therapy man, murdered. The Cain and Abel of it screeched in my ears. When No Love at All came home from work that night, we got lost and went to see a comedy that made us feel eerie. A few weeks later, we got a call from the Chicago police to come in for questioning. "Is this your book?" "What book?" The detective threw an issue of Stone Wind on an old oak desk. It was a college publication that I had given the therapy man during one of our sessions. "Yeah, I'm part of that book." "So, then you admit to writing some of this?" "Yeah." "Well, what does this mean, walking slowly in yourself without fear?" He was quoting from a poem of mine called Fine. I pondered a moment. "It means you're comfortable in your own head." "Are you? What? Comfortable? Here or in my head?" I said. "In your head. Sometimes. Are you comfortable here?" "No." "Why not?" "I've never been questioned before." "Someday you can write a poem about it." "I guess." "Why do you write poetry?" "I have to." "What do you mean you have to?" "I need to express something inside of me that wants to come out." "Do you want to come out?" "Out of what?" "You tell me." "I have nothing to tell." "Why were you in therapy?" "I don't have to answer that. We could lock you up on suspicion." "Suspicion of what?" "Murder." "Are you kidding me?" "I don't kid." "All right, I was in therapy because when I talked, I didn't know who was talking. But now I do." "Now you do what?" "Now I know who's talking." "And who's that?" "Me." "And who are you?" "I'm myself." It was a moment of fun. How long have you been seeing this man? A year. And your girlfriend? A few months. And your cousin? A few weeks. Was there anybody else in your family seeing this guy? I didn't answer. How come you owed him so much money? He didn't care about money. Why not? I don't know. He said he'd settle with me when I got on my feet. Are you on your feet now? No. When do you think you'll be on your feet? I'm not sure. What are you sure of? I'm sure that I try to write good poems. That's all? That's enough. What were you doing on Friday the 5th? I was with No Love at All. Who? That's my girlfriend. He didn't say anything. What did you do? We watched TV. What did you watch? I don't remember. Are you sure you weren't writing poetry? I don't remember. I have a daughter interested in poetry. Really? Yeah, but she doesn't need therapy. I'm glad. You know, there's something I've always wanted to know. Could you tell me what poetry means? I mean, I'm just a cop. I never got it in school, and since I've got you here, a live poet and all, maybe you can help me. I thought a moment, then replied, Poetry is a piece of knowledge that hurts, but after a while, the hurt feels good. Did you ever want to hurt anyone? I smiled. He didn't. He questioned me for a half hour. He told me not to leave town. Then he let me go. No Love at All and my Satyricon cousin were next. When they were through, he told all three of us to take care because Hitler was alive in Argentina. We all nodded our heads as we were set free into reality. The case never solved. The therapy man buried somewhere in Texas. All questions, spirits, and poems, hopefully resting in peace.